Hey everybody, JBR from JBR channel here, and I think I'm the only person on the internet that's actually pretty hyped for Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Let me know if you guys hate it or love it down in the comment section, but personally, I am a big fan, and I'm very interested in the prospects of what's to come in this game. I'm sure you've seen a ton of people breaking down the trailers and stuff like that, going over the story, and if you guys want, I can talk about that later in a future video or stream. But what I want to talk about is what playable characters will be in this game. When I think of a warrior style game, one thing that comes to my mind straight away is probably a large cast of characters. The first Warriors game I played was Hyrule Warriors, which had an abundance of characters, way too many. But that's never really a bad thing. I sunk so many hours into playing each character in that game, unlocking different weapons and stuff like that, different playstyles with each character, and it was a ton of fun. I had a blast, and that's where we come to a weird point with the trailer for Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. What was weird about this trailer was we only saw 3 playable characters. Now, what I wanted to talk about today is some speculation on some other characters that we can expect to be playable from the start, and then talk about probably some future DLC, because just about every Warriors game, especially Nintendo-style Warrior games, are filled with post-DLC for a abundance of characters. One character that I'm hoping is just in the base game that I don't have to pay extra for is Shamir. That would be my biggest choice. But let's go over some of those characters that we think will be playable in this game, and then talk about some future DLC. So, as I said already, we have the 3 lords, Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude. We can also probably assume that Byleth will be playable, since they are the main character / avatar of Fire Emblem 3 Houses. We can also probably assume that the person on the box art, the new edgy swordman dude, will probably be playable, since a lot of warrior style games like to unlock the villains after beating the story and have sort of a villain story route. Think of Ganondorf in Hyrule Warriors. Assume those 5 will be playable in the game. I mean, 3 of them have been shown. Some other characters that I would expect to be playable would probably be Hubert, since he is the only student that was actually shown in the trailer. It would be kind of weird if he was in the story, clearly in the trailer right next to Edelgard, but didn't have some sort of role, some sort of playable role in the game. It would just be weird if all of the main Edelgard maps were just Edelgard and you didn't have the option of switching it up with Edelgard or Hubert. A lot of warrior games like to give you multiple characters so you can, you're not stuck with one playstyle that you absolutely hate. So I think we can assume Hubert will be a playable character. I've also seen some screenshots for some other people that will be in the game, but it didn't specifically say if they were playable. I think there was a screenshot of Judith, who was important to the Golden Deer story. However, she wasn't playable in Fire Emblem 3 Houses, so I think it would be pretty cool if she became a playable unit in this game. We can also make some guesses, some educated guesses, saying some of the Knights of Syros, like Catherine, hopefully, Shamir, and Alois, maybe Gilbert, those type of people will be playable, as well as Rhea / Syros. Nintendo probably knows that a ton of 3 Houses fans were kind of sad at Judith, Rhea, kind of Sothis not being playable, even though they seem like characters that should be, they were not. And I can imagine them being story important enough to become playable characters. I think it would be very cool if we got to use like a sword / brawling style Syros. I think that would be awesome, and it would probably fit super smoothly into the game itself. That's all the stuff that I feel like should be. Of course, we'll probably have a couple of students from each house at the start. I could assume maybe Dedu from the Blue Lions, maybe Felix from the Blue Lions are pretty important to the story, Sylvain as well. For the Golden Deer, we can probably assume if they're going to give us more than just Claude, that they'll give us maybe Lorenz, Hilda, because those 2 are probably the most story relevant in the Golden Deer route. In the trailer, they sort of talked about, like, you know, Byleth wanting revenge for Jeralt. So we could assume maybe Leonie will also be playable since she also had a lot of attachment to Jeralt. But other than that, I honestly think that most of the other characters will be DLC. People like Linhardt, Mercedes, Ash, I think a lot of those characters will probably be used as DLC, which I think is kind of upsetting because I feel like if there's a ton of DLC for this game, it would be kind of insulting because, I mean, the models are literally already in the Warriors engine. If you guys don't know, there was already a Fire Emblem Warriors game that they used that engine to make Fire Emblem 3 Houses. So it's a bit unfair for them to lock a ton of characters behind a massive DLC paywall, considering they already have the models in the game already. There's not really much of an excuse on that front. But I'm sure in the next couple of months we'll see a lot more playable characters, and I might be entirely wrong. Maybe Byleth isn't even playable for all we know. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. What units do you think will be playable, and who is your one character that you hope you don't have to pay DLC for? Who's the deal breaker for you? I've been JBR from JBR channel, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!